Hey, 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 welcome back to another RSG Lunch Stream. I'm Ranger J1999, your host and part of the RSG crew. Glad to have everybody here on a magnificent Monday, which is saying a lot because they're usually not magnificent Mondays. But wherever you are, whatever you're up to, and whether you watch this live or later on, it doesn't matter. We're bringing you the lunch hour where we bring something fun and entertaining for you guys to listen to wherever you may be. And we'll go about an hour, hour and a half. We'll answer your questions. If you have questions, pop those into the chat. Make sure you put question in front of your statement so we can scoop it up easier. Maybe on triple duty again. So help me to help you. Help me help you. There you go. That's how it works. Real quick, if you could, stop what you're doing. Give us a thumbs up on the video. It does help us get our content out to the YouTube world. If you haven't already subscribed, what are you waiting for? Listen, we do a lot of content. Maybe you'd like to enjoy it. Maybe you'd like to hit that subscribe button. Maybe you'd like to be happy with all our entertainment value that we bring. I'm just saying. And also, we have our Patreon where you can become a Patreon sponsor, and then the ACS stuff we'll get to the end. That being said, let's introduce who we've got so far today. I'm sure maybe some more people come along, but we don't know. But let's see who we have here. We've got, of course, Grim the Mechanic.
How's it going?
And we also have the big deal, the Brown Gandalf, the Beardless One, the government Wi-Fi stealer, the chicken chaser, the French tickler, the one and only Grande Patron.
Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up, Ranger? What's up, Grim? How you guys doing?
We're doing good. It's Monday.
Very good.
Nice.
That's all I gotta say, man.
Which is interesting for Monday.
Yeah, it's Monday. That's all I got. It's just Monday, and that's about it. A lot of stuff going on in the game. We are going to so today we're going to do a roster review like we always do. And then we also are going to do Grand Arena is up 3v3, so we're going to put down the defensive teams like I always do. We'll get some feedback from you guys. If you want to suggest a 3v3 team, it has to be a legitimate team or something that works. If you give me like something ridiculous, I'm just going to ignore it. But we always do the Grand Arena team with working with you guys for some suggestions. The reason we do this is so you guys can see what team comps work, what doesn't hold on defense, gives you some ideas for your territory war. So, that's why we're doing what we're doing. It's to help you become better at Grand Arena. And then we also got territory wars going on. So if you have questions about any of that stuff, by all means, please get those questions in, and we'll get them scooped up, and we'll get them read out. That's what we do here. Dang it. All right. We've got a roster review. And today we are doing Tellus. And Tellus is in Warriors of Echo WOE. And let's see what they are looking for today. Let's just pull that up. I had it up and then I changed it. And now
you want me to read it?
If you want to read it. Yeah, if you got it, go for it.
So it says, I can get first in arena when work doesn't pull surprises at payout. Oh boy. Many of us can empathize with that one.
Sure.
Last week dropped in arena as I was working on a rev encounter. Okay, makes sense.
Sure.
Ships, I don't have much time to climb for payout. I have most of the ships, but have trouble climbing or holding in the top 20 in ship shard chat. So that isn't an issue, even though I have MILF and HT. So he's got the Han Solo, Millennium Falcon, and Houndstooth. I am working on reinforcements Cassian. Makes perfect sense.
Sure.
I suspect I need to 6E pilot mods to hold better, and G12-5. Just haven't grinded them with the shift with the MILF just out. Any recommendations would be helpful. My main reason for asking for help is Zeta priority. I have 2 Zetas saved, which I am holding for whatever curveball event is coming out at the end of the month or so. I like doing GA and TW, so always developing next team, but not sure next Zetas or team I should be focusing. As I haven't done some of the newer Zetas like Mission or Karth, etc. But still some older ones like CLS is missing 2, last one on JTR, maybe Savage or Dooku, second Ewok for a GA team. I'd like to get the Sith Smiter title, so maybe I need to Zeta Visas or a different Bounty Hunters for a second team. So he's we'd like to get first in the Sith raid as well. So looks like mostly focused on on arenas. He's doing great. More of a mods, more of a where to put Zetas, more of like a TWGA style teams is what it looks like. So he's a little bit of a high end player, and you can see that from his roster. 4.5, almost 4.6 million, and obviously running the one of the major teams that can win in arena. So makes perfect sense there.
All right. I mean, just looking at his roster, yeah, he's doing. You can see those little dips where he had.
He's playing around with teams.
Work and stuff like that. Real life can get us all. He's pretty consistent in the top, between 15 and 20 in ships. Again, sometimes gets in the top 20, but that's still really a good spot to be. I mean, that's if you're saying if you're getting your crystal payout, 1 through 5, which it looks like he's doing, and you're getting some crystals from ships, that's just a bonus.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you can average 500 crystals a day on a 7-day week, then you're doing pretty damn good, because that's 3,500 crystals on average that you're picking up. So that's still a pretty good spot to be in. So just a quick look at his roster. We already know he's working on the newer tunes. I mean, that's a lot of... Look at all those Gear 12s. Jeez, 4.5 million GP. Don't think we're going to find a lot of stuff, Grande, that he needs to actually work on the teams. I'm just going down the list to, like, what are Gear 10s? I mean, maybe you can work on shore gear. It's a trooper
Zeta Finn is Gear 9, potentially.
Yeah, we can work on him. I mean, but at this point, it's really about... he brought up a good thing. We've got the curveball we're expecting coming, right?
Treya's Gear 10 instead of Gear 11. That might be one he might want to...
Yeah, let's look at the Sith.
Zalbar potentially to Gear 11, Gear 12, maybe.
Yeah. So for a roster like this, it's just rounding out some characters.
I can't even
actually, his Treya, I think you're looking at the wrong one. His Treya is Gear 12 double Zeta.
No, Kira.
Oh, Kira, not Treya. Okay, I misheard
Kira.
you. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, you could work on the Kira Bounty Hunter stall squad.
And then a little bit on Finn, potentially
sure.
For... again, you've got this, do I work on Finn or do I hold on Finn based on not really fully knowing, hey, what's going on, with that rework. It hasn't dropped yet. I would continue to farm Darkside Bastila Fallen. That makes perfect sense. Potentially gear 11 Sith Trooper, maybe. I mean, we're getting really into the weeds.
This is nitpicky stuff.
I mean, this is really nitpicky, right? I mean, maybe a little bit on B2. He said Visas Mar. I have not had great luck with Visas Mar in this.
She's a PvE character in Phase 1. I mean, other than that, it's
right. But depending on which team you run.
Right. See, it's very, very situational. I mean,
he was talking about ships a little bit. A lot. Potentially he might want to work on some of these pilots to Gear 11, especially stuff like Bistan might need to go up a little bit.
Well, he said he's working as Cassian. That might be some crew you want to work on, because his Cassian's U-wing is 7 stars. So we've got Cassian and Jin that he could probably gear up a little bit.
Cassian and K2SO. That's really take them both take Cassian and K2SO to Gear 11.
Sure.
That would make a lot of sense for him.
But a lot of his pilots are Gear 12, and it's like...
Yeah, the pilots are in great shape, right?
Yeah, they really are. I mean, this lineup's in a great spot.
I mean, in ships, if he wants to stay, let's go look at these. Let's go look at these pilot mods, right? So he's got all 5As sitting on Akbar. That makes perfect sense.
Sure.
Let's go back and look at Houndstooth, and he's got all 5As, including 3 6Es sitting on Bosk, so that makes sense. Let's look at his Han Solo. Got a couple of mods he might want to slice up, and then to A's, and then slice up a couple more to 6E maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Let's look at his Chewbacca. Same thing, right? So the idea about how to win in ships and how to stay up high with those characters, it is about those finishing pieces, right?
It is. It's about it's those little things.
God darn it, though. It's about the little crap.
Really is. So it's like the MILF is the same as the Revan, right? You're going to get a lot of mirror matches. What is going to be the difference? Well, one, you're controlling the ships or the characters. That's a big advantage.
Right.
The other is how you have them modded and how well you have them modded.
Yeah,
that's the big difference, because those subtle little things, those little bit of extra speed and damage and stuff can make the difference in the world. And it also prevents you, if your team is really maxed out or close to being maxed out, it makes people that hit you not want to hit you because your team's a pain in the ass to deal with. The more of you can be, not that you're not going to drop, let's just be honest, with all the teams out there.
I've dropped into the 30s in ships. Running what I feel is a really great lineup, and then having to work my way. And it's weird. One day I'll fall all the way to 30, and then the next day I'm like, I go in for my ship's payout and I'm 9 or I'm 11th.
Right.
And you're like, why is my starting spot so different one day to the next?
Luck of the draw, man.
It's just luck of the draw.
Who hit you? Did they beat you? If they didn't, did they try again? Did someone else take you out?
Yeah, who knows, man.
But people in arenas that are very active will look for those teams they know they can win when they climb. The people that have the maxed out stuff or close to it just don't care. They're like, I'm going to hit you, I'm one. That's it. They just don't, it just doesn't bother. But a lot of us don't have all 60 mods on our characters, and we don't now have all our characters to gear 12, so we look for any slight advantage we can get in the arenas. We take
Again, it's all about those little finishing things, man.
Now, I understand, trust me, when you get to a point like, even with my roster, I'm just rounding out things now. So I'm working the Kira Stall team. So I've got Mission Zalbar 12. L3 will be 7 stars tomorrow. I just got her to where those next 9 shards we'll get at midnight tonight. We'll take her to 7 stars. But the rest are all gear 11. But it's, I'm working on mods. I finished all the mods in the Jedi to make sure they were all gold 5Es, right? I'm working on 6Es for Yoda. To get his offense higher. But these are subtle rounding things. So you get at the point with your roster, Grande and Grim, and you guys know this, where I've got the characters farmed. I've got a lot of them geared. What's, at least geared 10 or 11. Here's the other thing too is
you could put the 12 on them, put the 12, put the the 12.5s, put all 6 dot mods and still lose sometime.
Yes.
And so you could put all this extra work in there, and again, you maybe lose 5% less than you did before. If somebody knows the right counters, or they know how to operate their team to where their team attacks yours at its weakness, they will win, right? Smart players know how to play their team. I mean, we've got a guy who climbs every day from the 60s to take 3rd place in the payout before mine, and the guy doesn't even have Millennium Falcon. He just knows how to run his Thrawn, Houndstooth Geo team, and he's got it fully maxed, and he's like, I can beat that team in under a minute. And you're just like, but his team is terrible on defense, so he's got to spend 3 hours climbing every day.
Some people don't do that, and that's okay. And it's just understanding the nature of the game and stuff like that. I think the other thing that he asked for is about Zetas. And here's what I'm going to say. I didn't see anything that just stood out to me that was like, when I first looked at all the characters he has, it's like, go put that Zeta on immediately. I really think, I'm in Horde mode.
His mods look great, by the way.
I'm not even going to look.
I mean, his mod, again, you could see that he's doing a bunch of slicing. We could argue way down here at the bottom that maybe there are a few mods that he could take, but we're talking about mods that are, less than 15 speed potentially that he could change. This particular guy, again on his mods, I wanted to look at some of his offense mods.
Sure. And
see where we're at on offense mods. Potentially, we've got a few of these offense mods that could be swapped around a little bit, but you're hard pressed to say they're in the wrong spot.
No.
Very hard pressed.
I mean, this is an excellent roster.
Absolutely. This is a great roster.
So, I mean, you could take some of those characters that Grande mentioned to Gear 11 and just be hyper-focused so you're not spending, all your gear. But I'm in Horde mode. I'm hoarding everything right now, and I've been.
We don't know what's coming out. We don't know what's coming out. We don't know if you need it right away. We don't know if it's going to take freaking 3 Zetas, which means you got to have
500 Corbantes.
Which means here's the deal. In my opinion, whatever comes out next is going to be a Zeta intensive character, and they just gave us a team in Grievous where if you don't have the, I mean, that's a 6,
Six
7,
Zetas.
5 Zeta team. I mean, some of the Zetas are debatable on whether you really need them or not, or if you swap a character in or swap a character out, whatever. But they could, if people blew 6 Zetas, most people weren't holding 9, right? I mean, rare person has 200 Zetas in the bank, and that person is not going to go, oh yeah, let me put 6 Zetas on on that team. I don't think they'd do it. So I'd probably hold the 3 Zetas.
Because they not only do they hoard, but they wait.
They wait a
long time. And the reason they wait is because they're smart. Some of the things we keep trying to instill in everybody that listens to this is that you've got to play the waiting. Even if you're well, I go at it with well sometimes.
You can buy gear. You can't buy Zetas, man.
But even then, like Wells, I'll tell them, don't spend the money, man. I know you got it, but don't just spend it, So you got to be smart about the resource management in this game, because that's really what it's all about. Wait, who said something?
Hi.
Oh, thanks for being on time again, Finn.
The construction people just left for the day.
Okay.
Actually have no background noise during the day for the first time in like 2 weeks.
Okay, good. Well, glad to see that's what's going on.
And I have air conditioning, so everything is coming up Millhouse right now.
Very nice. Yeah. Okay, so
we're I think we're probably recommending him to kind of
hoard
and play the wait and see game.
Yeah, and then let's see what comes out.
There's only one thing I noticed that he can work on.
Sure. What do you see?
That's finishing up Karth and Juhani.
Yeah, farm. I mean, the farm's the farm. I'm sure he was already.
The farm is the farm. Yeah. I mean, we've all.
That's the only thing I see on this roster that needs work.
Couple characters, sure. Some other
ones.
Amazing
roster.
If you want to take
talk about his MTGPing?
His what?
He has a lot of MTGP.
Yeah, but he's 4.5 with his.
I know,
but his upper. But hold on, he's 4.5, almost 4.
That are like purple gear.
I know, but
stop doing that. Stop doing that.
No,
here's the thing, though. I mean, once it's done, right?
I know, but he just did it with Jordica and B1. Stop doing it. Don't do it for anyone. If you want to take them to level 50 for mod storage, that's fine, but don't stick gear on them because it unnecessarily inflates your GP.
Wow.
You have a good high-end roster, but it is going to make it so your battles are more difficult, especially in like Grand Arena and stuff.
Yeah, that's a good point, Finn.
Doing it, but Grand Arena, yeah.
Yeah, you don't inflate your GP any more than you have to. As your GP goes up, make sure it's solid GP resources that are bringing your GP up. Characters that you're going to use, that you're going full gear 12 on. Just don't take characters up just to do it. We've seen that mistake made a lot of times, so let's try to avoid that. But yeah, hold on to your Zetas, keep hoarding them. Hold on to your gear, hold on to your resources, hold on to your credits. Let's see what's going to happen. Keep farming those old Republic tunes. As in for ships, there's not much you can do. Same thing with PvP. I mean, a lot of people have mirror matches. They have these characters. The only thing you can do, there's not a be-all, end-all defensive strategy you can use. You're going to get hit, and you're just going to fall. And there's not much we can recommend because your roster's so damn good that we can tell you, though, then, just try to be consistent. I understand real life comes about, and it can make things hard sometimes, but there's nothing you can do about that either. Real life comes first, and it's more important than this game. And you don't have to explain yourself to us. We understand that in spades. So... Yeah, so...
I mean, I didn't make my payout yesterday. Why was that? Well, because my kid was having her, she was in theater, and yesterday was the last performance, and we went and watched the performance.
Yeah.
And I turned my phone off, I mean, that's real life.
You just don't... family, work, everything comes first, and we always tell that to everybody. This is just a game. It's a fun game. We enjoy it. We enjoy the community, but... family and stuff comes first. All right, that being said, I love your lineup. Tell us, you've done just an amazing job with your lineup. These subtle little things maybe will help you out a little bit. But there's not much more we can offer. Your mods are fantastic. Your ships are fantastic. Your Lineup is fantastic, other than Finn seeing the fluffy. But yeah, Horde. My recommendation: keep farming those Old Republics. With the crystal income you're going, there's two minds about this. I'm just saving all my crystals so I can make that big splurge for whatever characters I'm going to need with those crystal packs. Some people are taking the crystals every day and doing multiple refreshes.
That's how I do it.
Right.
So we're going about it a different way.
We'll see which way works. I'm probably going to regret this, Grande, but I'm trying. I'm really trying hard, Grande. I'm not spending crystals on anything other than one Cantina refresh. That's it. Just
dang, bro.
I'm at 16,300 and something right now.
I'm at 247.
Yeah.
So we're totally doing different. And I've almost got Karth and I've almost got Juhani up to 5-star.
So we'll see which strategy works. We're trying to kind of see which strategy works for the future for you guys.
It's a crap ton of refreshes though. Let me tell you, and it's not pretty when I'm like, how much energy am I buying? What am I spending it on?
Yeah.
Oh man, that seems dumb. You know what I mean? Like, it's a crap ton.
Yeah. So I'm still farming the characters, right? I'm still maxing, but I'm just doing it.
You're not doing all the way through all the 100 crystal refreshes. No. And you're not doing, and I mean, I'm refreshing Juhani's node until it says 200 for a refresh. I mean, it's completely different. Our styles.
So I'm hoarding Grande's spending. So we'll see how it plays out. But Grande's a little bit ahead of the curve on me because
But
Grande.
If they drop a pack that's awesome, you could easily catch up with me.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, if they drop a really sweet pack, boom. You're right there with me.
The problem with the pack, though, if they use the first Revan as a template, is that this pack is going to include HK-47.
Yeah. Well, even if it
doesn't
include
RNG is going to make it so that you can have 4 characters you need charts for, but unless you're Loki, you're getting HK-47 charts.
The other thing, too, is I've already got Darkseid Bastion. I've already got Canderous done.
Oh, yeah. You're in a much worse shape.
Yeah, which means the pack is going to be terrible
Rangers
for
could
me.
definitely make use of it. I made use of the one for the original Jedi Revan because I didn't have any of the characters at 5-star, or at 7-star. So I was able to make use of it. But this time, if HK-47 is one of the characters you need, I won't buy it because there's too much risk involved with getting HK-47 and wasting those crystals for shard shop currency.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, my HK-47 is max, so it's one of the things I'm going to.
Mm-hmm.
If it is part of the members that you'll need and stuff, so we'll see how it plays out. But I'm going to be by the end of this week well over 20,000 crystals, and I'm just going to keep just constantly saving my crystals, and I'm getting top 4 in arena every day. I take my payouts, so between that and the 50 I get from fleets, I'm averaging about 500 crystals a day once all is said and done. So we'll see how it plays out. But great job with your roster here. Tell us, those are some simple things. Take what you got. We told you to do. If you have any questions about it, you can come hit us up on Discord anytime. If you have any more specific questions, hit us up. You're more than welcome to do that, and we'll be more glad to help you out. And you can personally message us. We said that to all of our people we do roster reviews for. That being said, Finn, how does someone get a roster review?
Simple. Hop on the RSG Discord. The link is in the description of the YouTube video. Also, it's just realityskewedgamers.com/Discord. You can just go to our Discord page, find me, Affinity, PM me with your GG page, and say you want a roster review. I will add you to the queue. We're keeping the queue to roughly about a month right now. And then we will double up if we get too big on the roster review queue. It'll be roughly a month for you guys, just FYI. And then once you get close, I'll message you and schedule a specific day. You'll know exactly what it is. I'll ask you what you want us to review. It's a whole big spiel.
I find it funny. I being a marketing major, I just today started looking at cap and gowns for my commencement ceremony. What's the first thing that popped up on Star Wars Galaxy here?
I saw that. I saw it. It made me chuckle.
I don't even have a date for my commencement. I barely looked at one site for caps and gowns, and you're already popping it on GG. They know, man. They know.
You need to get that blocker, bro. That's
after the stream, I'll hook you up with an ad blocker.
You say that every day.
No. This is on the. This is still on. This is on the site.
It's going to happen.
Good. please.
Well, I just think it's funny. I'm just like, oh, okay, there it is. It popped up immediately. I'm like, oh, because I used to be games, so it popped up there.
We gotta get Ranger. We're like the internet does not know what's happening because it's just painful.
So note to self: watch the ads that come on GG when Ranger is streaming. To
Yeah,
see
you see what I'm looking at.
Internet.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, and
What
you'll
could
know
it
it's
be-
a problem.
yeah,
You'll know it's a problem if we start getting farmersonly.com.
yeah.
Well, now you know why Finn doesn't do the roster reviews.
Well, the other one is
on
custom
streaming.
tabletop minis.
because
Forge of Bikinis is not
Because
an
it'll
ad.
be like all Rule 34 Ewoks, you know?
Well, the other thing too is,
ForgeofBikinis.com.
yeah.
Way too-
He's gonna get the farmersonly.com one.
I feel like the Rock in this SNL commercial. Let me tell you something about this guy. He watches Family Guy porn with Brian, and Brian's the dog. Woo!
Oh no! What's the Finn cooking? Porg.
Because that's what Coco's cooking. If you guys have not seen that skit, you've got to watch it. It's the most ridiculous thing ever. When we get in the ring on Sunday, I'm going to destroy you psychologically. Oh my god! But the other ad is for custom tabletop minis because I do all that D&D stuff. They know.
Hey.
They know. You know, they check the other sites like, well, maybe he wants these. All right, guys, it is time for 3v3. Oh, it's time. It's
baby.
back, man. It's back. We got to talk about this. We got some defense. So if you got recommendations for teams, now's the time to go put those in there. And Finn can look at those, and we're going to start setting up my defense here. And I looked at the guy that I'm facing, Thunder Squad. Can you... Miss had the same thing. It's not even a fair matchup. This guy's nowhere near me in GP and stuff.
Oof. Okay.
I don't understand what's going on with 3v3.
They haven't changed the logic yet to not exclude ships. So does he have
He's not even-
a similar GP
No.
but very high in ships?
Not even close in either area. I think. Well, let's look at it. So let me see. My GP. Let me go to my profile. Then I'll pull up
Well,
his
so
profile.
there's a few things potentially at play here.
So
So
let's-
one thing
Yeah.
You
is
can click through by clicking view rewards and see a little bit about him.
yeah, you can kind of go through the people, but there's a couple of different possible reasons. The first thing is we know that it's including ship GP, and this is purely a character one, right? So that's
I'm bringing up
one.
Firefox real quick again because I want to talk about this. So
The other part though is remember how they did territory
I don't think
wars?
this guy is even active.
Well, remember how they did territory war? Well, he has to be active because he had to click to join.
He has
but-
not done anything in arena in the last 30 days. Or
No, he
ships.
might just not care about arena.
Yeah, he may just not
He
care.
may not care, but so his total GP is 2.8. Mine is 4.07.
Wait.
No.
2.8?
No. Go back. Do it through the game. Do it through the game.
Okay.
Don't do it through GG. Do it through the game.
Okay.
It's a different guy. I'm gonna tell you right now. You're not
Sure.
looking at the right guy.
Okay, so how do I go to?
You go to view rewards and you'll see
Yep.
the list of everybody, and then you click on the person, and then you'll see.
Okay, that
their-
might be a better way because I looked at this guy's GG page and I was like, same guild. I mean, I'm not.
This may be his alt, man.
Could be his alt. So
He may have an
it
alt
completely
name
threw
the
me
same way.
off. I was getting worried. I'm like, what?
So
Yeah,
go-
there's no way you got
hit
matched up
enter-
for 2.8.
hit the enter button, then hit view rewards.
All right,
and-
so his arena rank 70. He has his
Yeah,
fleet's
much better.
294.
There you go.
it's a different account.
And
Okay, it's
you
a little
can
bit
still get
different
mismatches, right? But here's the thing: if you look at the way they did territory wars, remember how they didn't try to do any repeats? And so it looked like the
that's not
cutoff for
even
their
fair.
territory war logic was about 10 territory wars, right? Before you started to get like repeat opponents. So if they do something similar to that, we are now in territory war number 6, I think. And so as we get a little bit farther, if their logic is still working on your 10 closest people, the GPs are constantly changing.
All right, so his
more
GP
so
is
than-
4.071, but
Okay,
I'm looking
so
at
he's
his
much
lineup.
closer.
But this is a fluff GP roster.
That may be.
Oh.
Now that's also not taken into account, which is what Fluff GP is.
Because I'm thinking he's got 18, 24, 28 gear 12s. Oof.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's a few things at play, which is why I think we're going to see a little bit more mismatching as we move forward here, maybe for the next 2 territory wars or so, because we're reaching that 10 threshold, which is what they use in the logic, it seems like, for the territory wars.
Mm-hmm.
They could be using something similar for Grand Arena and get that same issue. So.
I mean, I'm just looking at his ships too. It's like, yeah. All right, so we have an idea of what this guy has. He does have a Revan, and Treya, but not a lot of other stuff on his roster. All right, so we're going to set defenses. So if you have a defense you want to put in there, please ask and throw that in there, and we will do that. If not, I'm going to go through the panel here.
3v3 can have some really cool defenses, right? Because it's kind of almost a different game mode. So you can really look at some different squads.
Yeah. So we're thinking defense, right? What do we want to put on defense? I can give one recommendation. One team that I like to run is
it's your game, so definitely give yourself a recommendation.
I'm just going to recommend it, but I like to write Kylo Ren Unmasked, and First Order Stormtrooper.
I love that team. Perfect. I put that team on defense.
Let's put it on defense. There we go. There's one team on defense. This is kind of the thinking we have.
Yeah, I love that team.
Shall we jump into questions? Because I might have to go here shortly.
Yep,
so.
You can read questions while we're talking.
Okay.
Well, let's see if there's any questions about 3v3.
Well, there is a Grand Arena question from Fat Tony 99. What happened to 3v3 Grand Arena matchmaking? I thought they said if ships weren't on the table, they wouldn't be in the matchmaking calculation. Clearly, it matched us with overall GP yet again. Yeah. So when you saw that was in the road ahead. So that is something that they're looking into. I have not seen anything since that post, as we've been covering it, that actually mentions they've changed the logic in Grand Arena yet. Right? Grande Ranger, have I missed anything? I haven't seen anything that said they implemented that change yet.
No, I haven't seen anything.
Yeah, so something to keep an eye out for, because remember, road ahead is for about the next 3 to 4 months, pretty much. To do the next one, although it can be longer, but it's what they're looking at.
Makwa asked, give a potential team, which I like this team. I use it slightly differently, but she said GK Barris 5s. It's a great team.
All right, we'll put that on.
The original timeout. Speaking of which, Makwa also asked a question. I'm working on the Karth team and planning on using Mission and Zalbar. What are some replacements for the Kira team?
I use Han, OG Han and OG Chewie.
Mm-hmm. You can definitely do OG Han and Chewie with the Kira team. Another one you can potentially use is Kira, L3, and Vandor Chewie. That becomes especially more of a timeout team. It's not going to be one that kills anything. It's definitely going to be more of a timeout type of team. You could also go
factor out bounty hunters. They can still be used in the Kira squad because they count as scoundrels.
Yep. So Kira, Enfys Nest, and Cad Bane is actually a really fun squad too. Mm-hmm. Cad Bane is a little bit better on offense though, because you can control his stun a little bit better. Mm-hmm. But that is another potential team there.
Another alternate I was using is I put Embo and Django in those 2 slots, and that one works really well.
Yeah. So Kira can also do scoundrel stuff too, so you can definitely make use of her for that. Right. Doja-san question, why would people that are enjoying the live stream not hit the like button? Hear that? Hit the like. Yep, lick the like button, just like Ouchie has said.
Hey, that's
and I licked it multiple times vigorously.
Ouchie loves to lick the like button.
Let's go to the next question. Portugal question, how would you like to split up Sith in 3v3? What do you use on offense versus defense?
I like to keep the Triumvirate together. That's personally.
I split them up sometimes.
But yeah, what some splits we do? Well. I keep Vader and Palpatine and together.
I keep Vader and Palp together. But with Triumvirate, you can also do like Treya Scion Sith Trooper and then have Nihilus on his own. Nihilus can really almost fit in any team as long as you can protect him.
Yeah, two characters I want to say for 3v3 that you want to keep for offense that can go solo easily is Nest,
Thrawn, and Nihilus, if you can keep them.
Well, Wampa too. Certain comps he can just go in there.
Wampa, yeah, but Wampa never goes on defense, which is why I didn't say him in particular.
Yeah,
like Wampa, I haven't seen a Wampa on defense except for somebody that just didn't.
Oh man, for a long time I haven't seen Wampa on defense.
Yeah.
He's too easily beaten, but he's
his
great.
His tenacity is so low. You put him in against a stun team and you can have problems.
Yep. But yeah, Thrawn, Nihilus, and Enfys, 3 huge characters for offense to help you get extra points. One thing I tried actually last time, Grande, that seemed to do pretty well was Traya, Scion, and Dooku, because he's counterattacking and he still heals with everything going on with the team. So that was another one that worked out.
What do you guys think of this team of First Order for defense? And someone had recommended this team, and I want to see if you guys thought about it. Phasma lead with First Order Officer and Executioner.
Yeah, that would work. Another good one is using Phasma and the 2 TIE fighter pilots.
Yeah,
the 2
Officer and Executioner are better. Even though the other 2 are 11, but those guys are 12. So
okay, so here's the problem with the First Order Officer team and all of that, right? If your Phasma, it depends how much you have invested in your Phasma, right? Because your mods and everything are already locked. If your Phasma does not have fast mods, right? Doesn't. The First Order officer can potentially screw you because he'll turn meter boost. If he turn meter boost Executioner, okay, right? If he turn meter boost Phasma may not even get full turn meter because it depends on how much you have invested in Phasma too. It can be a team that works. The other problem is you have to make sure that Phasma is slower than First Order Officer. I've seen that mistake too, where somebody didn't invest in First Order Officer, and it's really easy to get First Order Officer faster than Phasma. But make sure that First Order Officer is faster. Otherwise, Phasma is going to use her full turn meter thing, and you're wasting that on First Order Officer. So
yeah, my officer's way faster.
You do have to time it a little bit better.
I think he is speed is not great, but it's like 236. So
back on the Sith thing real quick.
But we're going to set this team on. We're going to set this team on defense. Why not?
I think this one actually will work pretty decently.
There you go. So we got one zone done. We want to go. So we'll go to the next one. But let's do some more questions.
The one Sith team that I think is going to be really fun, and I plan on using it the next time we do 3v3 because I finally got Traya Gear 12 this morning, and is doing a Traya lead with Scion and Emo Bastla with her Zeta.
Yeah, keeping your Traya alive even more. Yeah, that can definitely work. All right. Next question. Kidioda Mutsu. Question: Grand Arena 3v3 thinking outside the box. What would be everyone's opinion on the team leader, Old Ben, Kenobi, and Zeta Jolie?
No.
I think I would rather do GK Barris and Zeta Jolie if you want to try something.
Yeah, that's way too no offense. You can survive.
And survival is also low. I know you're hiding Jolie behind 2 Jedi tanks, and the idea is that they can't get to Jolie, and if one of them dies, then Jolie can res them. So I understand the concept. It's a fairly neat concept. But any kind of AoE dispel or a buff immunity can really hurt because Old Ben doesn't have a recurring taunt. And I mean, of course, part of what we're saying is that you're going to have to use high-level characters, but this is also a team that you don't need a lot of synergy with. It allows for plug and play to beat it because there's no offense. And so you can pretty much bring in any character that has a dispel in order to get the taunt off of Old Ben, and then anyone that has a buff immunity on Kenobi. And then you can take out Jolie. Because Jolie now doesn't have the counterattacking. He's not going to be speeding up his cooldowns and all of that, right? So I think you might run into that problem where you're going to be able to beat that team with a combination of characters rather than trying to get a synergistic 3 team in order to try to drain somebody on the other side. One potential easy counter that I can see to this actually is Sunfac. Because every time you attack him, you don't really have a stun on that team. And so once you have one dispel with Old Ben, and so if Sunfac gets his stun up and you attack him, Sunfac is going to counterattack somebody with taunt, and that taunt is gone, and it's going to expose your Jolie again. So it could work. It depends on kind of if people have an idea about how they can potentially beat that team. But you are leaving yourself susceptible a little bit to some hodgepodge attacks, which you obviously want to try and prevent if you can.
Yeah. All right. Next set of defensive squads. What are we thinking here? We can do some bounty hunters, maybe some Kira up front here. What are we thinking? I'm looking in the chat since the panel got all quiet on me.
Well, I'll go to the next question. Sithlore72 question: the Sith raid has been out for a year now. Does anyone other than CG really care about the heroic Sith raid any longer? When will CG stop messing with character kits and just leave it alone? So I know you asked this question on Jedi Academy 2. We did answer it there, but I think you're coming from a perspective where you are completing heroic Sith. I'll put it that way. There are still a lot of people not at heroic Sith level. Now, they do have to keep the content going for players, right? Like the high-end players need something else to do. So I understand your point for this, but the truth is Traya is still not a highly acquired character. If you consider, let's just assume really quick that Revan and Traya are both characters that people will Zeta immediately when they get, because they are both solid characters, right? They're two of the highest percentage Zeta characters. If you look at Revan's leader on the Zeta report, he currently has 80%, or he has 80,000 Zetas, which is 94% of all Revans. Traya's leader is at 54,000 and 75%. So there are close. There's probably a little bit less if I run the numbers. There's probably a little bit less. Actually, let me run it right now to figure out, based on that stat and the number of people that are on GG, the number of people that have Revan is 8128 and then 94%. Okay, so there are 84,600 plus people that have Revan. And then when we look at Traya, there are, let's see, so 50...
Make sure you carry the
divided by that. And there are 72,300 that have Traya right now. So there are actually less people that have Traya than have Revan. So a lot of this is because we're coming from, and we have to be careful of this too when we're discussing things, we're coming from our own bubble of what is being completed, right? And as endgame players, we're always looking for the next challenge, the next new thing. But CG also has to keep in mind that there's a lot of people still working on getting to Heroic Sith, right? There are less Treyas than Revan in this game, which should tell you that like people were able to farm Revan because they just needed characters easier than they needed to get Treya. So it is kind of a perspective thing. Do they need new content? Yeah, I think they do need new content. Should they not try to fix Sith Raid when there's broken? No, they still need to do that because that is still the end game content. A lot of people still haven't completed it. So I think they still need to fix it. The game isn't ready to move beyond that yet.
I don't know. I still think it's funny that you said that CG actually cares if people have Trey or not, considering they released Revan and he was the direct hard counter. He was coded to kill
I didn't say
Trey.
They care if people get Trey or not, but they care about their endgame content, because if their endgame content is broken, that's when it starts to hurt them. So they have to keep the endgame content kind of true to form, right? As being the hardest thing in the game. That's what they said before with that like Fin bug or whatever, right? When it was Heroic AAT, they're like, yeah, we don't care about Heroic AAT. If it starts to affect the Sith Raid, then we'll change it. Well, then a video came about the Sith Raid, and it's like, yep, we're changing it now. So that's their thought
until another raid comes out that makes the Sith Raid, secondary, like HE.
Yeah, and which may be coming soon, right? I think we're due for something PvE oriented, raid wise. Mythic raids have been, or arcade raids, or whatever you want to call them. I don't remember what's the term for the data mine, but arcade or mythic or whatever you want to call it. It looks like we're getting ready for our next tier of these raids.
Yeah.
All right. Real quick, what team should we be looking at next here for defense? I saw Boss.
Which zone are you in now?
I'm in the top zone. Oh,
let me share top front still.
Let me share my screen so you guys can see, because you guys are. Let's go here, and then this is the top zone. So the bottom zone's done. We can go to this zone here. What do we want to put down? Put some really good solid teams.
Did you put Revan on defense?
He's got a Revan, so I don't really want to put him on defense. Anytime I see a Revan, I always keep mine on.
I think that's a smart thing to do.
Yeah.
You don't have to though, because there's not as many Jedi, so his direct focus doesn't do as much damage, because he's only calling 2 Jedi, and usually one of those Jedi is going to be either like a Hermit Yoda or a Jolee. So you're not really getting a lot of damage output. It's just going to be the little frogman. And Revan is also not getting the additional speed. It makes more sense in 5v5 than 3v3. Well, because Revan is considerably... He's still really good, but he's also weaker.
Well, let's save him for offense this round, see what happens. I was thinking Bounty Hunter Squad, we can go Bosk, Jango, Boba
Do you have
Fett?
Jango?
Yeah.
He's like geared and everything?
He's 6-star, gear 11.
Okay.
That'll work. Though I kind of like him as lead in 3v3.
That's exactly what I was thinking, actually.
Because that 30 speed can mean life or death in a 3v3.
Put Jango and Boba on the same team.
Yeah. With
and
Bosk.
then...
And Bosk.
Well, Bosk, you can run another team that's reasonable, right?
Though, actually, you're right, because both of those have the Bounty Hunters thing.
I was actually thinking if you could put your Nest.
Dengar.
Not using Nest on defense, but sorry.
They might not be able to beat your team if you put Nest on there. I don't know how the other guy is modded, but beating a Nest under a Jango is not easy. Especially with 2 other Rezzers. So you can, if you target Jango or you can target Boba, like they both res at least once.
Yeah, and then Nest is getting that plus 30 speed from Jango.
Mm-hmm. Something if you want to give it a shot. Otherwise,
I mean, I don't have a Zeta.
Now, Jango's lead works on all scoundrels. You don't have to go just bounty hunters.
Yeah, you could do like L3.
And L3 will heal those 2 too. Every time she taunts.
All right.
Well, that's gonna be brutal.
Because my L3 is.
Well, yeah. What is your L3 at first, though?
She's 6-star, about to be 7, and I know she's gear 11.
Yeah, that should work.
Okay.
You have all her skills up except for the Zeta.
You're right.
Okay. Yeah, that'll work.
All right. So that's this team that we just set. All right. So that team's done. Need 2 more.
That's a fun team we'll be able to monitor.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, I'd look forward to seeing how that one does.
Let's do a Kira team on defense. So let's say we're going to go Scoundrels again.
Kira, Mission, Zalbar.
Yeah, they're all 11-12, so why not, right?
I actually put Mission, Zalbar, and Vandor Chewie. I put a non-lead team in there because they synergize really well.
That's...
So Mission...
That's a better idea.
Zalbar and Vandor Chewie?
Yeah, because people underestimate that team because there's no leader. But it's actually a really synergistic team.
Okay. They're all 7 stars. Mission Zalbar 12. Vandor's 11. He does have the Zeta.
Yeah, that one will do pretty good.
Okay. So we've got that.
Next question. Darth Scion 1972. Question. Has the panel seen someone's latest video claiming CG did not mislead the community on GG? What is panel's thought on CG's misleading footage? Glad I listened to RSG and didn't buy the hype. Well, yes. The rule of thumb is always wait for somebody else to do it, especially in this game.
I have not seen that. When did that come out?
I have not seen that, but we can talk a little bit
Yeah,
on the
I haven't
concept.
seen
Right?
that
We
either.
know what it's discussing. Was the footage misleading?
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, it fooled the
I'm
dude
sorry.
that wanted Grievous.
Well, so here's the thing:
You
if
know?
you got fooled, that's a different thing.
But was
Right?
it
'Cause you
misleading?
shouldn't be
There's a
going
difference between
into it
being
with your
fooled.
eyes open,
Right,
right?
but was it misleading?
Yes. No. It's definitely misleading.
Yes.
But the thing is, you have to go in with your eyes open when you see any of these things. Keep in mind, CG, EA, they're a company. They're trying to sell this character. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get you to buy gear in order to gear up Grievous. They're trying to get you to get shard shot currency in order to get Grievous. They're doing all these things. They're trying to show you the way that Droideka and B1 work with it, right? So was it misleading from that standpoint? Yeah. But is it anything surprising? No. They're a business. Think about any commercial that you have seen. Have you seen any commercial that puts out results that show that something did not work?
Of course.
I got Tide Pods. I put them in my washer and the stain did not come out. Buy Tide Pods. Like, why would they do that? Right? So CG has the Game Changers, and the Game Changers are getting this information from CG, right? They're not employees or anything, but they're getting distributed material ahead of time of everybody else. And so the material they got distributed was GG beating a Revan team. It doesn't mean that they can't beat a Revan team.
No,
but if they beat it once in every 20 tries and they showcase the one, well, it feels a little misleading, right? But it's a company that's trying to showcase what this team can do. So why would they give the Game Changers footage of them facing a Revan and just dying? We've criticized them before about them showing an ability and somebody dying as a result of it.
Yeah, but they did this one incorrectly. To be honest, they should have showed us how these characters were geared and modded.
Yes. They could have done a lot more on that
If
end.
they would have shown that, there wouldn't have been an uproar. If they would have shown this is General Grievous's group with, they're all Gear 12 plus with, God mods, then nobody will have been pissed about it because they showed it.
Yeah.
It's the fact that they didn't show this kind of stuff. We get on them every single time they do this.
They never do.
Transparency means everything. The PR nightmares will go away if you show stuff.
Yes. But they also don't want to show it because that leads to unrealistic expectations. So that's part of it. I have somebody at my door. I will be right back.
Well, I'm going to speak my mind about this. So the problem is that you show. So most people do not read the forums. They don't watch. A lot of people do not watch videos and stuff like that to play this game, right? They look in the forums. They get updates, right? But most of the time they get updates in game, and they don't even check the forums. So they get all this information, and so when you watch a video of Grievous beating Revan, yeah, it can beat Revan. Caveat: there's a lot to that statement. It's a loaded statement because I've tested this, fully maxed out characters on both sides, and I've tested with different stuff with Mist and stuff. So can General Grievous team beat Revan? Yes. If the Revan team is modded cruddy and it's not fast and stuff, it can beat it. But even then, when we were testing, it was 50-50. A fully maxed Revan team with a Yoda that's going around hitting with 7,000 offense is almost one-shotting your characters. The other thing that it doesn't discuss is how it does against the other teams out there. CLS with crap mods absolutely pawns a Gear 12 maxed out General Grievous team. A Sith team absolutely pawns a GG team. Now, one team that it does do very well against is JTR. We tried different combinations of JTR, and there's other videos of it out there with against JTR, and for the most part, it does really well against JTR. So there are counters to it. I mean, we didn't try out First Order Bounty Hunters, but I would guess from just the mechanics and stuff that it could easily take out those teams. So it's a mid-tier team that might be able to beat the Revan, but you have to be really careful with that because if their Revan is fully loaded, which most Revan teams are, that you'll come across. So those Revans that are between 20 and 50 in the Shard, you can beat. When you start getting to the upper echelon of those Revans that I face every day, from 20 to trying to get to 1 for my climb, anywhere in that range, 300 plus speed, 60 mods. Yoda's running around with 7,000 plus offense. I mean, they're just geared and modded to the teeth. And when you take a fully geared 6E modded General Grievous team against that as well, then you see the results, and the results are pretty consistent. That being said, when you look at the footage, right, they didn't necessarily say that it could beat a Revan team. However, it was implied. And it was implied because you see General Grievous beating the top meta team that's in there. Which is smart from a marketing standpoint. If you want people to invest in something, Finn's right. You will showcase it doing its best, right? You're not going to make a commercial for ED and say, it sometimes works. You know. But people get on the hype train, and those that really wanted General Grievous to be good. But you can watch all the videos out there. I mean, Arnold, poor guy. I mean, it's brutal. So CG knew what they were doing when they put that specific type of video out. Now, if I was marketing, then their PR would have been like, okay, that's fine, but you have to lay out all the circumstances for people to make an informed decision. If you're just going to say this is what it does, and then show a video of it beating Revan, and not put anything else in there, then you're not giving the whole story. And when people make purchases, they want to have the whole story. So they're giving faith in you that what you're showing them and telling them is actually accurate. But you know, the lesson here is you guys got to listen to people that are saying wait, because we don't have. I mean, when this was all coming out for the last couple of weeks, we have been sitting there saying wait, you know, because we don't have all the information, we don't have all the kits, we haven't had a test for ourselves to test it out. You want to let the game changers and people test out stuff and give you an informed opinion. I will never buy anything without talking to Warrior first. What do you think, Warrior? Right. You know, or when I'm just messing around with Mist and we're testing stuff. Because it gives me an idea. And then with that idea, I could tell you guys, should you invest in the characters or not? And that's really where you got to play this game. Even if you're a Dolphin, Whale, Kraken, you shouldn't just spend money to spend money. There should be some value from it. You know, we all have different sets of what we value. But even then, it's like, for me, Grievous is in mid-tier team. It can beat some teams. It's a fun team to play. It's got some really cool mechanics. But if you're expecting to invest in this in PvP and run top 5, good luck. Because the Revens on offense are definitely going to knock the crap out of you. On defense, it sucks. On offense, you have more control, and so you can target things, right? But every time I saw B1 get targeted by Revens right off the count, I'm like, oh, crap. And that's pretty much what happened.
Got screwed.
You're basically over because the Jedi flying all around hitting B1. He's gone, and once he's off the board, it makes it almost damn near impossible to win. So you have to be aware of this. But this is stuff you have to wait for to get testing done from us to get the information. CG is just going to market it. They're just going to put the package out there and say, here's what we got. I don't know what CG tests. I don't have an insight into what they use as a baseline of tests. Do they test against all the meta teams? How many battles they do? You know, things of that nature. I can't give you that information. All I can do is look at their kits, tell them what's coming out, tell you guys to wait, let us dink around with it, and then we can go forward and give you a really sensible investment strategy. When we do roster reviews, what are we looking at? What is the most sensible path for you to have the most effective roster in the game? And it's different whether it's a new player that's just starting or someone that's mid-tier that's looking, okay, who do I work on next? Or the top tier was like, okay, I've got most of it, but where are some things that I can work on? It's different from everybody. And so you want that kind of insight and you want that kind of knowledge. And that's what we're saying is that when anything new comes out, let us look at it. Sometimes you can just look at something like, oh my God, this is ridiculous. I mean, Revan, when we first saw it, when he came out and we saw his Zetas and stuff, we were like, this dude's going to be OP. We still waited to see, but we pretty much had a good idea. When we saw the droids, my first reaction was, they're going to be good, but they're not going to be meta. You know, just from the kits and stuff. I was like, well, let's wait and see what they do with Grievous and Droideka, but I wasn't getting the sense that this team was going to be kicking that crap out of everybody. So, you have to be careful. Buyer beware. This is the thing. Mm-hmm. You know, CG is going to market something as the best thing. They have to. It's a business. They're trying to make money. But as an informed buyer, an informed customer, an informed game player, it's up to you to make good sound decisions on whether you should invest or not. and you go and listen to us, and we've got your back because the community for us is more important than CG making money. I want them to make money. We've come on here and looked at packs and stuff, said buy this. So when it seems logical and it seems to make sense, we will tell you that the investment's worth it. But if we don't see it, and it's just our opinion, some people will differ on it, but don't chase the shinies, guys, is a lesson from this. And everybody that bought into Grievous and invested all their resources and stuff, I feel bad for you, but lesson learned. But we've been through this multiple times, Graham, right, with all this stuff with CG, so this is not the first time that we've had this kind of issue happen. So but now everybody's left me. I'm going to pull up questions and see if I can find out questions here. I have no idea where we left off. Finn didn't tell me. Stupid Finn. All right, give me a second here, guys.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that.
That's all right. I'm just looking for more questions.
While you're doing that, can I quickly clarify something on the Grievous thing?
Sure.
I'm not saying that they did this intentionally. I'm sure that their marketing guys, tried to do their best, and a lot of people did hype this up. So I'm just saying they didn't do it intentionally. CG knows better than that.
Okay. Dogeson question: for those of you that didn't have Revan the first time, now having Revan, how does this impact your 3v3 teams, and how will you be using your new Revan in 3v3 for the first time? So, I didn't have Revan last time. I didn't face a lot of people that had Revan. Always kept my best. If you didn't have Revan, you kept your best Revan killer available on offense, right? Now that I have Revan, I keep him in reserves. If I see they have a Revan, most times I do. There was a team that didn't have it, but I was like, okay, I'll put him on defense, and he didn't even bother attacking. So if they don't have a Revan, I'll put mine on defense. If they do have one, I hold in reserve in case they put theirs on defense. I'd rather have it and not use it than have to use it and not have it. So, and my Revan and stuff is geared to the teeth. So I like to keep my better teams on offense. I like to be more efficient on offense than putting a crap ton of stuff on defense. But the stuff I put on defense is pretty solid. Tangent Revolution question. Let's not forget, guys, when Revan came around the first time they released different packs, you could purchase that were sets of 2 characters. Step 3 was by himself, 80 shards, I think. That's true. I'm still saving all my crystals for these packs and stuff, and maybe I'll make an investment depending on which of the characters it is and how good it is. So again, we'll wait and see what happens, right? The only thing I can do is hoard my resources to see. Then I'll look at the character. It may be crap. Never know. And I'll just be like, okay, now I can go invest in some other characters. But I want to at least be in a position to where I can make that decision. If I do make that decision, I can make the investment. Grande Chacon question. I'm refreshing, but Karth at 4 isn't dropping. I'm thinking about only refreshing Gihanni at 5 and saving crystals to buy Karth. Is the plan between Grande and Ranger methods a viable one? Both seem to work. I mean, so guys like Xyla and Grande, with their crystal income, since they've got most of everything done, will take their crystal income and they can invest in the newer characters easier than I can because I have more stuff that I'm still farming. It's the same time that they're farming those characters, I'm farming like Django and the Curious Stall team, things of that nature, right? They've already got those teams done. So their investment is primarily in that way. It works out. They've got the characters, 2 of them 7 stars, that kind of thing. For me, it's like, okay, they just came out. I'm farming them, but I'm saving all my crystals and stuff. So when a lot of people that were free to play that got Revan last time, they just bought those crystal packs and got the characters to 7 stars. So that's kind of the way you have to look at it. And you have to make a judgment on Grande Chacon on where you're at with that. Adam Man question. How do you guys beat a Han Chewie CLS team without a Han Chewie CLS? What do you do in those circumstances there, Grimosaurus?
Thrawn.
Yeah, Thrawn's a great counter.
I mean,
they're going to shoot first with Han, so it's a little bit.
They're going to shoot first with him anyways. But if they don't stun Han in the first thing, you can fracture Han and then kill Chewie.
Yeah, I always If you can do that, if your target is Chewie, right? He's going to put guard on CLS and Han. But if you can burn Chewie down, then that disappears. And then it makes the characters a lot easier to kill. Then there's lots of different teams you can use. I mean, you can go Citroen, you can go... I mean, I'm just trying to think of some of the teams that just... anything with Thrawn in it is going to really... you're going to get your bang for your buck, because he could fracture Han. Then you just have CLS and Chewie to deal with for a while. Just burn Chewie. And then go for Han. So...
Another one that's good is if you can bring somebody in that could daze.
Mm-hmm. Daze is always good.
Because...
get those assists.
If you daze Chewie, then the assists stop, and the damage potential of that team goes down exponentially. And then you can go through and, beat the crap out of that team with pretty much anything. Well, almost anything.
John Pritchard question: why not save all protection and regen teams for offense to maximize your points? Because I don't need to. Because I go in there with single characters a lot of times and get max points out the yin yang. So it's about the counter. A lot of teams I do have regen, but I'll run Thrawn on the team to make sure I get max regen. So there's different ways you can go about doing it. I like to have the teams on defense that you see me putting down because they regen, they revive, they do all that kind of crazy stuff. It makes it difficult for people to not use their best stuff on the front line. Because I know I'm going to get mine. I know I'm going to get my points. I always get to the finals and either I win or I get second place. And if I get second place, it's because it was a close match. But I don't know. Maybe we'll change it up, John. It's something to think about. Maybe we'll do that for the next round. We'll see. Andrew Kopta, question in GA: do you put your strongest defensive teams top or bottom? Both. I like to put the top teams. So for GA, I'll put my strongest teams on the front line, and then one in the back. I'll have two really strong teams. The other one I'll kind of go a little bit more lighter, but I want one zone where front and back, it's like, have fun with that. And then one where I want the front. You really want your teams up front because they can't see your back, so they don't know which one's going there. So I want them to have to use their top teams to try to take this stuff out. That's why I want the health regen teams and stuff like that, so in case they fail, they're really screwed. And then have a surprise on one of them is like, oh, crap. And then the other one's like, okay, they're not bad teams, but, it's just they're placeholders.
That's what I tend to do as well, is put the best up front first and just save a couple of the real good teams to put in the back for the surprise.
But yeah, front is always the key way to do it because they can't see your back. And the strategy that you want to use is you want to clear at least one zone. When you're attacking, and you see me do this on all the Grand Arenas, whether it's 3v3 or 5v5, I will attack one zone first. I'll see what's in the front, but I'll pick one. Clear it out so I can see what's in their back. Then I can make a decision on that front and that back that I'm seeing for the first time, what to do next. Then I'll clear the other front, and then I'll have an idea of what I've got left to take out the rest. So that's kind of your strategy. You don't want to go piecemeal on both zones just because the teams are there. You want to have a strategy of clearing one zone at a time. And usually I go with the weaker of the front two zones that I see because I can use some weaker teams, and then I can see their back. If they don't have anything there, then I'm like, okay. So I know that's garbage in the back, so I can use a couple good teams in the front here, still save a couple of good teams, and then go in there and attack. She can... #8212 question: Nihilus Chirrut Bays.
Could work.
I'm trying to think of. Boy.
Though, to be honest, I'd save Nihilus.
I would. Chirrut Bays is a great combination to use, but I wouldn't put Nihilus on that team. Ezra Bean question for 3v3: how strong does a CLS Honshu team have to be in order to beat Revan, GNY Jolie? My CLS misses his 8 on his lead. CLS has 103 speed, Han and Chewie mod for offense. Well, I mean, the first thing you want to do is just kill Yoda because you're going to go first. Just blast him to smithereens. And then focus on Jolie. I don't even bother with Revan when I use CLS against Revan in a 3v3 match. So burn the crap out of Yoda. If they get the revive off, they get the revive off. Then I go burn Yoda again. Then I know it's down. But at that point, even with all the buffs flying, you've got Chewie that can dispel them. You got CLS that can dispel buffs and keep them from getting more. So it's really about burning Yoda first if it's a Revan Jolie Yoda team. So that's kind of how you had to handle it. Andrew caught the question after watching the Oscars: does Lady Gaga deserve another Oscar? I didn't watch it.
I didn't watch it either.
Yeah, I don't really care about the Oscars. Bing Skymaster question. When we talk endgame, I believe it to be territory wars. Everything you do in the game improves territory war teams. Even the heroic Sith contributes to territory war teams. Like the panel's thoughts. I always focus on territory war teams. I don't know how you do it. I don't focus my teams to be raids. I don't know if you do the same thing, Grim. Mine is always PvP oriented and territory wars Grand Arena. I still could do great damage in the raids. Maybe not some of the top people, but I don't flip mods for just raids and stuff like that. I don't know. How do you handle it?
Well, ever since I actually got close to finishing my arena team, I've been focusing on TW. I mean, because to be honest, I really like TW. Even though the rewards aren't that great, being able to interact with the guild a lot more it's so much fun.
Next question, Whittle 73 questions. So you're saying I should pay my rent rather than spend that money building my Grievous team to max? Yeah, I don't know how your world and stuff, but yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. I don't think anything else needs to be said. All right, that's up to the questions up to now. Let's go back in here and see if there's any more recommendations for defense. Let's see here. I don't see anything. Graham, how come you're not monitoring chat and keeping track of that crap?
Sorry.
All right. All right, Finn, we've got it caught up on the questions. I'm back to 3v3. We got the front zone. We need a strong team. What do you recommend? For the separate team, we've got the Mission Zalbar, Vander Chewie. We've got Django, Bubba, and L3.
What else do you have left?
I have a lot of crap left.
Let's see.
I do know that I'm going to do that Asajj. What was that Night Sister team we did last time that got me like 8 wins each round on defense?
Oh, it was Asajj, Acolyte, and Zombie.
Yeah, we're going to definitely put that team. Actually, let's do that now. Depending on the zones here.
Oh, while you're doing that, we got another question from Most Mike.
Sure.
He's asking, what time is the roster review tonight?
That is 9 p.m. Eastern. All right. So, we'll see. Awesome, based off this next team we put down. So, Dr. Finn, let's get another defensive team down here. What are we thinking?
Which zone are you in now?
We're in the top.
In front?
Yeah. So, well.
Okay.
This is the one. I'm sharing my screen, so you should see it.
Yeah, I see it. I missed you clicking on the zone because I know you had clicked out for a second, so I missed you clicking. Okay. Let's go to your characters again. See what you have. See what we can put that's a nuisance.
You want to go boss team here too?
We could. Let's see what your bounty hunters are. So you could do Bosk, Dengar, and but your Dengar's kind of low. We don't want to put him in the front. No, let's look at something else.
Okay.
Bosk will be better for offense because then you can control it a little better.
Okay.
What about your other Jedi?
I've got all the Jedi, so we can save Revan, Jolie, Hermit Yoda. We could go Bastila team.
Yeah, that's. I was just getting ready to say that. Bing Skymaster says the Bastila team.
Mm-hmm.
But who to put on there? So Bastila and who else?
No, if you're gonna put Jolie with your Revan, then you can put Hermit Yoda here, and then let's see.
Anakin, maybe.
I would say, how's your Ezra?
Gear 11. No Zeta.
It doesn't need a Zeta.
Ezra would work.
I think Ezra is going to be better because he'll call.
Ezra, yeah. Ezra's AI will choose Hermit Yoda as his call to assist 99% of the time.
Hmm. Interesting.
Yeah.
I kind of want to say just put Grandmaster Yoda here and then save Ezra or Anakin for Revan, but
I mean, I'm open to whatever you want to do. So you want to put Grandmaster Yoda here?
well, both. But what's your speed on your Grandmaster Yoda? You focus on offense, right?
Yeah, his speed's still pretty solid. I mean, it's 224.
Hmm. You need him fast for the.
He hits hard. He's not. He's not.
Yeah,
The
I know.
fastest.
You need him fast for the Bastila team, so that's not going to work. Yeah, I would say Hermit Yoda, Ezra. Bastila, Hermit Yoda, and Ezra. That's what I think I would go.
Okay.
Okay, we got another question from Andrew Sweeney. How much hoarding is too much hoarding? I've done it so long I hesitate to drop resources on anything.
There is no such thing.
No.
Hoard away until there's actually something worth using it for. And now, what I would suggest is that the only thing you use it for is to take characters for 7-star unlocks only. You should be able to do simple things like refreshes of nodes and stuff to typically get 5-star unlock before they come. 7-star is when you're needed. So just keep on saving until a 7-star thing comes.
All right. So we'll see how these teams hold on defense, guys. So and when we get to the next round, maybe we change some stuff up. So keep some of your thoughts about some of the teams that we put on here. And maybe we'll switch it up next time. So for this Jedi team, if it holds well, maybe we leave it. If it doesn't, then we'll switch it up for the next time. So there you go. But we're doing this so you guys can see how the teams work. You know, do they work? You know, this is kind of the test for you guys to see how it works for you, to give you guys some ideas of what works and what doesn't work. We are being your guinea pigs. Now, looking at these two zones, Finn, which one would you say is the stronger zone? Because I'm going to put the Asajj team in the back of the zone you think is the stronger of the two.
Are they both? There's one that's 3 and one that's 2.
They're both 3.
The fronts are 3s. What about the backs?
They're both 3s.
There should be a 3 and a 2.
2, yeah.
So 2 make your stronger ones because typically people will go for the bottom for the extra points because
Okay.
you only have to kill 2 squads in order to get to it. So
Sure. So we're gonna put definitely a nice sister team back there with Asajj, Zombie, and Acolyte, right?
Yeah. And then once you get your spirit up, we can try it the other way and put in spirit instead
Yeah,
of
eventually
Acolyte.
someday I'll
I said when you get there.
So we'll set that back there. All right. And we need another really strong team back here as well. Maybe a Rogue One team?
Well, yeah. I was gonna say you could try a Jin, Chirrut, and Baze.
You know, we did do that last time and it did pretty well. Jin,
Yeah.
Chirrut,
It's not an easy team to kill.
No.
Baze is annoying as hell. So
Jin, Chirrut, and Base in the back line as well. Think about it. I haven't said it yet.
I want to put this team on defense, but part of me is thinking to put it in the other zone. But
Okay.
actually, no. Put it with the Knights.
I have an idea for a team on the other zone that'll give him really good defense.
Yeah,
Okay.
I like this one.
Okay. Not Cassian. Get out of there, Cassian.
Though Cassian is real good.
It was surprising this team had a couple defenses last time I did 3v3. Nathaniel Morgan's like, do not put Bastion on D. Well, we already did, Nathaniel Morgan. Good Lord.
Can't touch this makes a good point though. That Scion can take out that team pretty easy because there's a lot of attacks. He keeps on getting his res up.
All right, so let's not take this team there.
But Single Scion, yeah. No, I'm gonna stick with it. Jin, Chirrut, and Base.
All right. We'll see how it holds, guys.
Or you can do SRP, Chirrut and Bays.
No.
Then you got two dudes that, or you get a dude that'll constantly come back after with all the buffs flowing around. But no, I think you're right. Jin, Chirrut, and Bays is gonna be a good one.
Okay. So that's set. And then we got these back three here.
You could do Mother Wampa in this one.
Sorry, yes. Sorry about that.
Next.
Kanto says Revenator made that point that Scion can take out the Basti team.
You could do a Rex, Wampa, Mother Talzin.
Do a what now?
Rex, Wampa, and Mother Talzin.
I like that team better for offense, though.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah, it's really good on offense too. Yeah, so.
I mean, you have a lot.
How about an EP team?
EP's also better on offense
better
because you
on
can
offense.
control the dots and the saber throws a little better.
Okay.
We could put a Maul defensive team down here.
That's what I was thinking, like your
Maul.
other Sith. But you need a Sith assassin.
Yeah, I'll put Sith Assassin in there. Let's see.
No, your Sith assassin is low.
Dooku.
She's gear 11.
It's not going to be the same, though.
Oh, she's gear 10.
Yeah. Well, that's not bad. I mean, she's what, gear 10?
Yeah.
Gear
some
10,
stuff.
but also no Zeta on the Savage either, which really kind of helps with that.
Well,
team.
it'll never be happening either.
Yeah, I know. No, I'm not saying to do it. I'm just trying to figure out what to do with your... I mean... How is your Sith assassin modded?
Speed?
What's your speed?
Probably not that great. Yeah, not good.
Oh.
I just never use her.
No, it's not. Let's not.
I mean, I could put another Night Sister team down here.
Yeah, let's see what your Night Sisters are.
Maybe a DACA lead with this one?
I would go Talzin because you get
Yeah.
more res too.
You get Tals and Dahlia Daka.
Yeah.
That's a lot of healing. Yeah, that could work.
It's going to be kind of a nuisance team, but if you're not careful, it's going to be hard to beat.
Because Talia heals, Daka heals, Talzin's plaguing. You know, you get the extra attack
And a
from
bunch of resin.
stuns. You're getting, resin.
Yeah, we can give this a shot. Let's go with this one.
Okay.
We'll give this one a shot.
Yeah, Revenator does make a good point that Night Sisters, they work as a team, so you can't really do like the, one person versus all or two person duo versus another team on offense.
True.
Well, but Talia is a good plug-in. Not Talia. Talzin is a good plug-and-play for some of these too.
Yeah.
All right, we need 2 more teams. Should we just put any teams on there, or?
I mean, you're trying to save your CLS team, right?
Yes, I'm not doing that.
So let's use a team. Let's make
Maybe,
an RNG.
Empire?
Let's go in with Old Ben lead.
Old Ben lead.
So, trying to think what we can do with that team.
All right, Old Ben with who?
Did you put GK Bears 5s already? Do you
Yeah.
have those characters?
Yeah, that was already on the front line.
Okay. So let's see. I mean, we don't need Jedi for Old Ben, so let's just look at all the characters really quick and see what we can put with Old Ben. Where are you putting your R2?
It's usually offense. I use R2.
But where?
Depends on what they're running. Sometimes I use it with JTR. Sometimes I use it other places.
And your chopper?
Oh, that's a good point. Jeff Incredible says Sokatana Fulcrum. Chopper too?
Yeah, let's look at your rebels. Okay, so your Ahsoka Tano Fulcrum is 11, but no Zeta. And how about your chopper? You're 10.
Thing saying Old Ben, Stormtrooper Han, Commander Han Solo.
That's a very tanky team.
Yeah.
It can work.
Your Commander Han is your 10.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually thinking
could
Old Ben,
work.
Chopper, and Captain Han.
Old Ben, Chopper, and Captain Han.
Captain Han. Don't do it yet.
I'm not. I'm just putting it on the board. Hey, I have a Zeta Luke, Farm Boy Luke. Jesus.
Luke, oh Luke. This is just going to be like the evasion from hell. No Captain Han. Princess Leia.
Princess Leia?
Mm-hmm. Because she'll stealth behind them, and now you have to kill both the tanks to get to her. There's
That
only
could be
so many
interesting.
AoE dispels in the game.
Then Revenator's saying we should do Akbar Leia and Stormtrooper Han.
How fast is your Leia?
Oh, she's not.
And then your Stormtrooper Han too.
She's not fast at all, man.
Oh, your Leia is not modded
No.
for like anything. Okay, that's not gonna.
But we're just
work
putting. I just need 2 teams on defense here. I mean, we put
Yeah, I know.
8 teams that are really solid on defense, so it doesn't have to be, crazy.
out.
What else? 73. That must have been for a really good cause. Yeah, raise money for cancer.
I did too.
Yep.
Ranger and I built Zeta at Farm Boy Luke.
I mean, if we just want to just put teams on there, we could just put 2 Phoenix teams. I don't. Oh, well, we used those already.
Yeah. Oh, and when Finn Zetaed Farm Boy Luke, it went to 2 good causes.
Mm-hmm.
The first one was the American Cancer Society, and the second one is it made Finn cry.
Yeah.
Deadpool Kyle saying Old Ben, Chopper, Cassian.
Ooh, you could go Old Ben, Cassian, and K2SO.
Yeah, K2SO isn't very high.
He sucks.
Yeah, I'm okay with giving this one a shot.
Old Ben, Chopper, and Cassian.
It's just going to be a nuisance chopper. That's what this is built on.
And then
Cassian
just
gives those-
buffing the hell out of them.
Yeah, gives debuffs and also starts them with buffs, if I remember correctly, since they're
Yes, they
rebels.
get extra protections.
Yeah, we need a DPS in that spot.
Dude, Cassian hits like a truck, man.
He does.
With
He's geared
explosives.
well, right?
Yes,
That's why you have
he's
Zeta
good.
on him. So I
Yes.
think
He's very nice.
so. Okay, let's do it.
All right, and then we just need one more team.
Zeta, Farm Boy, Luke, Stormtrooper
No.
Han, and Princess Leia.
Oh my god.
Now you have the Zeta on his leadership, right?
Mhm. That's what we had
That's
to
a
Zeta.
lot of tenacity.
Yeah, I know. And put that on Stormtrooper Han. That's what I'm thinking.
Oh my god.
Do it. I say do it. At least, I mean, what's the worst thing that could happen? It'll get no defenses, and we'll have a good laugh.
All right. This will be the.
And by we, I mean the fans and me.
Yeah, so do for some entertainment value. So I cannot believe I'm doing this. Farm Boy Luke, Stormtrooper Han, And who was the other one?
Princess Leia.
Oh my god.
Ironically, his leader is called A New Hope, and that's like the whole cast right there.
I
Yep.
don't feel right.
It actually fits. It says A New Hope on the left, and then you see Luke, Han, and Leia. It's awesome.
Oh my god. Alright, I'm doing it. Done.
There's so much awesomeness in that screen.
Alright. We put enough solid teams down. So for this review, front for top is Django, Bubba, and L3. Next one is Mission Zalbar, Vandor, Chewie. Then we've got the Basila, Hermit Yoda, Ezra team in there as well. On the bottom, we've got a couple really solid defense. We went first order on here. We went crew, and then first order Stormtrooper. I'm sorry, Kylo Ren, a mess, and first order Stormtrooper. Then we had the rest of the first order in there, and then we had a General Kenobi, Zaris with 5s. Backline is going to be the team that's really done well for us is Asajj, Zombie, and Nice Sister Acolyte. Then we got Jin, Cassian, and Jin, Chirrut, and Baze. And then we got Mother Talzin team within a couple Rebel teams with Old Ben, Chopper, Cassian, God, with Farm Boy Luke, Stormtrooper Han, and Leia.
The New Hope team.
Oh my God. I have a feeling the New Hope team is going to get us crushed. Well, there you go. All right, let's get to some last questions and wrap this up. Oh my God. I think my first
questions.
Let me see. Last question I had read was.
Well, Grim read a couple too. I remember.
Yeah, the last one I read was Andrew Morgan. I think it was about hoarding.
Yeah. Yep. Then Nathaniel Morgan, question for Finn: why did you let Ranger put Basila on defense? Friends don't let friends put Basila on defense. She's not terrible on defense, but there are counters for it. But yes, Basila is typically better on offense, but Ranger was saving stuff for offense, so we were kind of playing around with it. So.
Well, I mean, a lot of people want to see it. We are being the test subjects for that, and we'll see how it does. Yeah. And if it doesn't hold well, then we'll change it up for the next one.
Why did Ranger Zeta, Farm Boy Luke's?
Yeah, we read that.
I did too.
All right. So I think we've got everything we need, everything on offense and defense. I think we're set on Grand Arena. Don't forget, you guys, Territory Wars are here. Still in the preview phase for about 25 more minutes. So make sure you good luck with that. So you get some more Zetas from there. Some Zetas flying around here for the next couple days. We got Territory Wars in Grand Arena that are giving Zeta. So good luck with all that. We'll see tomorrow how the team did. On defense and stuff, we'll run offensive team sets. You guys can see those teams in action. I've got a lot of my stuff on offense that we can run. So we'll see how it plays out. I think we've covered everything we need to do. Finn, let's talk about the ACS stuff. We got a big event going on tonight.
Sure. So big thing for everyone to make note of. We at 9 p.m. today, we are doing a roster review of SB Crumb. At 9 p.m. Eastern time, we're doing of SB Crumb. That's only going to be available to those that purchase the wristbands by 5 p.m. Eastern time. So make note, before 5 p.m. Eastern time. 5 p.m. Eastern time is when I am pulling the list of people that have purchased the RSG Stu Strong wristbands from the Tiltify and sending you all an email with a link to the stream. So if you guys want to watch and participate and kind of join in the chat for the SB Crumb roster review, now is the time to get it. Before 5 p.m., again, that's when I'm pulling the list. Another note, end of this week, so the first day of March is the last day for you to get your name on the RSG shirt. I have worked on the design a little bit. I'm, again, pulling the full list and kind of organizing it after this week. So today is going to be your last day in order to do it. So there you go.
Science. All right, and then make sure you like and subscribe, all that other stuff. Check out our Patreon. I think with that being said, we can call this one done. So on behalf of myself and the RSG crew, thank you for stopping by. And Josh Stodkill said, what is the price of the wristbands, Finn?
$15.
Yep.
And all the money goes to the American Cancer Society.
Yep. So there you go. All right, so on behalf, then that's U.S. dollars, not Canadian.
Correct, US dollars.
Pesos or the yen or the pound or anything like that. So everyone have a great rest of your day. We'll look forward to seeing you guys tonight for the roster review. Hopefully a lot of you guys purchase your wristbands, and we can see you there. It's going to be a lot of fun. So yeah, take care of yourself. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll holler at you later.